You know what we have here today? We have the world's fastest...
I always put a smile on my face.
Accelerating EV hypercar, the Rimac Nevera. This is a beautiful, magnificent piece of technology, and we get to drive it. Yes, we've driven the world's fastest accelerating car. It has broken the world's fastest car around the Nurburgring EV car and 23 other records. It can also go very fast in reverse gear. I don't know how they managed to check that, but they definitely did that as well. But this is a masterclass in aerodynamics. Every single thing that you see on this car is functional. The entire package is designed and optimized for aerodynamics. So yes, it is a masterclass in that. And a brand or other brands can learn from Rimac as to how to develop a proper EV hypercar. The entire tub is a single piece carbon fiber monocoque chassis. It is also the world's largest single piece carbon fiber monocoque. It's built underneath this. And below that, the battery pack makes the base of the car, but the driver and the passenger do not sit on top of the battery. The battery, like I said, is H. So there's a front portion of the battery, and then there's a center tunnel in which the battery goes, and then it comes back behind the driver and the passenger upwards. It's a 120 kilowatt hour battery, one of the largest fitted on an EV. This is for better weight distribution and space management as well, making the car dynamically sound and making sure the driver and the passenger sit lower, lowering the center of gravity on the Rimac Nevera. And yes, it has scissor doors. So I'm hiding behind the scissor doors, but yeah, they have scissor doors, making it even cool. Entry and exit from this car is super easy. It's a very comfortable position to drive in and is a proper GT car with enough storage, cubby holes, and stuff you can keep your phone and all that into. When you look at the interiors, everything is custom made. You see, there's storage behind over here. There's storage here, inside over here for documents. There's storage on the driver's side, multiple places. The entire interior is custom made for Rimac. They have an analog and digital divide between the two halves. Passengers get their own screen over here, and everything is custom made by Rimac. So the buttons, the knobs, the infotainment, the switchgear, it's all highly tactile and very superbly built. You can feel the quality in every single thing. I think this is one of the best built cars I have ever been in. So yeah, only 150 cars will be made to custom spec of each owner, and half of them have already been sold. Price is 2.3 million euros or around $2.5 million. Can you afford it? Well, if you can, you should definitely go buy one. This wing, it goes up and down depending on what mode you're in, and it goes properly high up when in track mode. The car has drift mode as well. So if you know how to drift, you can slide this baby as well. Did I slide it? No, but I did launch control. People, we are here in the Rimac Nevera, and we are taking it for a spin in Dubai on public roads, making sure that we stay as legal as possible. With me to make sure I'm doing all the legal things, we have Miro, who's the chief test driver and development driver of the Rimac Nevera. So he's the biggest expert after Mate to explain this car because he knows the ins and outs, and he's taking me for a quick spin.
A little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little faster. Open the throttle. No. Keep it taut and pinned. Okay? Did you see? The car was controlling the amount of torque that it was delivering to the wheels.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Until you open the steering wheel, it's not going to, it's not going to do anything crazy. It's just going to stay where you put it, where you want it to be.
Right.
And it's just going to deliver the amount of power that you need and that you can deliver to the wheels. So
it's phenomenal.
As we change the modes, this was in cruise.
Right.
As we change the modes, it's going to change, of course. Then in track mode, it's going to be a little bit more open.
Okay.
It is going to move a bit. It's going to understeer a bit or oversteer a bit,
Right.
just to show you the hints where the grip is.
Right.
And of course, if we change it to drift, then you
Oh.
need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Then ESC is off, traction control is off, torque vectoring is not off. It's helping you to drift the car because it's controlling the rear and the front powertrain, but it's predominantly rear wheel drive.
Okay.
So you can slide the car around and stuff. We're not going to do that today.
I wish we could do that today, but I don't think I have the right skill set to do that as well.
And we don't also have the right place to do it.
Right, exactly. Oh, the turn in on this thing,
Yeah, it's quite sharp.
it is quite sharp. It's, what's the weight? 2 tons plus?
2.3.
2 point, it doesn't feel like it at all. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it at all.
Okay, let's try to do this one in track mode.
Okay,
So it's going to be a little bit more aggressive. You're going to feel that the rear is working with you.
okay, let's do it.
And 3, 2, 1, and go.
Woo!
Did you feel this?
Yeah.
So what the car did is it's monitoring how much grip you have on the wheels,
Right,
and it's monitoring what your inputs are, and it's limiting down the power, and it's delivering what it can take to the road. Not
Correct.
much, not more than that. Otherwise the car would start sliding. So you can see that it's very balanced, it's very easy to drive. It is 2000 horsepower, but it's not intimidating 2000 horsepower.
you don't realize it's 2000 horsepower till you actually start accelerating and flooring it and understand that there's so much potential in the car and you don't even use maybe
Exactly.
20% of it.
Exactly.
And this is a proper GT car. There's cup holders, there's seat adjustment, AC, steering, heating, steering, cooling, ventilated seats, audio systems, storage capacity for knickknacks and your phone.
Yes.
Brilliant. Who would think of it? Sports cars, learn a few things.
And it's built to accommodate, different sizes of people. So,
Right,
our CEO is quite high.
right.
So, quite a tall guy. And it's done to be, perfect match for, people of all sizes, basically.
Correct.
And also,
Easy
when you
drive.
open the door, the ingress and egress
Yeah.
is super simple. Because
Very
it's
easy,
a big
very
opening.
easy. Yeah.
And as you can see over the speed bump as well, you don't have to, do anything super funny. There's fair enough of ground clearance, although
Right.
it's a hypercar. It's an all-weather, all-purpose hypercar because you can drive it in the wet, in the dry, whatever you want. We're gonna go to the right.
And the other thing I was noticing is how the steering dynamics change when you move from different modes. When it's in cruise, it's more relaxed. But when you move to track, the turn-in is sharper, it's more aggressive, it
Yep.
changes completely.
So, for example, we're gonna go on the highway, and let's
Right.
say for the sake of the exercise, we are gonna drive to Abu Dhabi,
Okay,
which is what, 150 kilometers?
give or take, yeah.
Give or take. So 150 kilometers and 100 kilometer speed limit.
Right,
Yeah, a bit sad. But on that regard, so if you want to come from A to B, there is no need for you to also run the rear powertrain. And basically what you want to do is you want to get there as most efficiently as possible.
right, right.
So to use the least amount of energy. What you do is you just turn the knob and you go to range mode.
Right,
You will feel now that we are using less power.
yes,
The car is very soft. The
Yes.
steering is softer.
yes.
The arrow is down. You can see that the wing is
Wings
not
gone
there.
down, yeah, yes.
And we are using predominantly the front powertrain.
Right,
And we are spending the least amount of energy because the rear powertrain most of the time is off.
okay.
So you can have your live torques in front of you on the dash.
Yes, I can
So
see
if you
that,
look
yeah.
here, you can see that how much torque you're using per wheel.
Yeah,
Now, for the rears, it's currently 0. If you open the tabs a little bit, so try it, you see that
Yeah.
it starts engaging.
Yeah,
So
yes,
if you
correct.
want to overtake, if you want to accelerate, you have it available.
right,
And you have 500 kilowatts available on full throttle, okay? Which is
Right.
still more than enough to, over accelerate or overtake any kind of car on the road. Any
Correct.
kind of
Yeah.
on-road purpose.
this is sneak attack vehicle.
Yeah.
It's like stealth mode.
Yes. On the other side, if you want to, use the power, if you want to exploit the limits a bit more, You have your cruise mode, which is still very timid, very easy. Suspension is still soft. Steering is very nicely meted. You can feel everything from the road.
Right.
Wing went up just the slightest bit, just to give you a little bit more air.
Correct.
You have 4-wheel drive permanent,
Okay.
and you have the torque vectoring working for you.
Okay.
Still in this mode, as you saw when we were driving through the U-turn, if you push, the car is not going to deliver too much power. It's going to deliver the perfect amount of power that the tire can give,
Correct.
and not any more than that. So it's perfect control.
Yeah,
It's very nice to drive, very easy to drive,
it is.
and at the same time, very powerful. Now, if you go on the taps, try to push a bit more,
Oh,
you can feel it's
instant.
It's
Instant.
instant?
It's instant.
Yeah, there's a lot available,
Yeah.
but it's creamy, it's easy, it's
Easy.
it's very smooth.
It's very smooth. It's very manageable.
Yeah.
You know, if you're driving a normal petrol car, 900 horsepower, you still wouldn't feel it this linear. You would still find it a bit more intimidating in that sense,
Yes,
even though it would have all-wheel drive systems.
yes,
But this is super easy. One motor per tire, per axle, correct? And that's how it's able to switch on, switch off, and manage the torque vectoring and the grip around the car.
exactly.
Okay.
So what we do is we monitor the torque on each wheel 100 times a second.
100 times a second. Okay.
Yeah, and
Wow.
we can deliver the perfect amount of torque.
Okay.
So we can either help you to turn, so yaw the car more
Yeah.
than the passive car would,
Right.
or we can stabilize the car if the car comes into an unstable situation.
Right. Okay.
So it's like a hand of God. So you're
Yeah.
basically, switching the torque
Yeah.
to the wheel.
It's like you're holding a toy car and moving it around from up in a way, simplifying it.
Simplifying, yes.
Yeah. So 1914 horsepower
Yes.
and 0 to 100 in 1.81 seconds
Yes.
and 0 to 200 in 4.4 seconds. If I'm
Yes.
not. Yeah.
So providing you have the grip on the road,
Right.
so providing that you have a dry piece of asphalt, it doesn't
Right.
have to be super prepped,
Right.
doesn't have to be super clean or whatever.
Right.
You are going to accelerate if you do a launch control mode.
Right.
You're going to accelerate way below 2 seconds until 100 kilometers an hour,
Okay.
and keep on going. And you're going to catch 300 kilometers an hour in 9.2 seconds.
Correct.
Give
So
or take.
the top speed is limited to 360 kilometers per hour in this car, right?
350.
350.
Yeah.
And the actual top speed with the special key and with the special tires is 416.
So the special events with the 412 kilometers an hour
Okay.
maximum speed,
Right.
we do with our staff or with our support.
Okay.
The reason for this is that you need to unlock the car just with a special software,
Right.
so it's not a special key.
Right.
And you need to be sure that the tires that you're putting on the car are in perfect condition, and also that the car is in very good condition in terms
Right.
of suspension compliance, all these things.
Right.
The reason why we do it in this way is that it needs to be controlled, because 400 kilometers an hour is hugely demanding on the tires, on the car,
Correct.
and you're pushing the limits there, and
Yeah.
you're using the road tire. It's not something super special.
Correct.
We just need to be sure that it's on correct tire pressure, it's on correct tire, and the geometry on the car is the right one.
Right one.
And of course, you need the room to do it. You don't
Yeah.
need a lot of room, because
Yeah.
you have high rate of acceleration,
Right.
but you need the room to slow down and to get up to that speed in a safe way.
Correct. Absolutely. I get that. And how have you managed to make the brakes so sharp?
So we are using regenerative braking. So
Right.
we're braking with electric motors,
Okay.
but we're also using hydraulic brakes, which are carbon ceramic.
Okay.
So whenever you go on the brake, you are using the very high region, and also you have the very high stopping power with the carbon ceramic brakes
Okay.
that will literally never overheat.
Right.
Or if they come to very, very high thermal stress, they will still perform.
Okay.
So the brakes are very powerful, but more to the point, with the region, you are not only harvesting the kinetic energy back to the battery, but you're taking down the thermal stress from the brakes.
It's brilliant because the brakes are so sensitive and so sharp. It takes some getting used to, especially coming from a regular
Yes.
petrol-driven car, you know?
But at the same time, you can modulate them very easy.
Right.
They're very precise.
Yeah, you get used to them and then everything else is going to feel like a sponge after this. You're spoiling me.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, now EVs. they are used in two formats, either for range or for propulsion.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, this is for propulsion rather than range. But what is the range of this car?
Well, WLTP range is almost 500 kilometers, but
Okay.
realistic range is between 300 and 350 kilometers, depending on how you use it.
Right.
You can, of course, use it in less if you're driving 350 kilometers an hour all the time, but there's not a lot of places where you can do that.
Yeah.
So realistically, you can get 300 kilometers from this battery size easy, and
Right.
from this car. But the point is not just the range. Of course, everybody talks about the range when it comes to electric cars
Right.
because of the range anxiety and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
120 kilowatt hour battery is enough to get your mind off it.
Absolutely.
So you don't have
Absolutely.
to, think about it at all. And on the other side, with this car, it's all about performance. It's all about performance through the corners. It's all about the driving dynamics and how you enjoy the car.
Correct.
We've done a lot to get this car to the point that it feeds you with information.
Right.
With the steering feel, with the damping, with the aerodynamics, with the torque vectoring. Everything needs to be to feel analog and natural.
Right. It feels brilliant. It feels analog. The steering feels very nicely weighted. The turn-in is, the responsiveness of the car is like a proper traditional analog sports car.
Yes.
It does not feel like an electric car to me, except for the sound.
And
which
at the
is-
same time, it's very comfortable
Yeah.
and has a lot of power and a lot of range. So
Oh,
you can do long distance drives with this car.
Absolutely. I can see myself going to Abu Dhabi right now with this.
And the point is that you have every mode for any kind of given situation.
Right.
So if you want to do a long distance cruise, range mode. If you want to just drive around and you have a B road that you can, exploit a little bit, that you can push a bit, you have the cruise mode. If you want to push a little bit more, sport mode. If you have the track and you can really, let go of the taps, you put the track mode on and you have the 100% of power.
So this is the world's fastest EV hypercar,
Yes.
correct? 23.
This is the fastest electric powered car,
Okay.
but it's the fastest accelerating car, period. So
Period. Okay.
with license plates, this is as fast as it gets
So,
in terms of acceleration.
so we are in the world's fastest accelerating car right now. And I'm a lucky man alive today. And just to celebrate that, I'm going to move this to the other side, sorry,
Yeah, this side.
track mode.
Yes.
Across this bend. The wing goes up at the back,
Yep.
the big wing. And I'm doing 60 kilometers per hour right now. Let's see.
I always put a smile on my
Okay.
face.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe there for a second.
Yeah.
I was at a loss of words and breath. Oh my God, but it's not as violent as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Uh,
It can be violent. as
in
well.
launch control?
Yes.
Okay. No, we're not doing launch control today.
You can if you want.
Seriously?
Yeah.
If you're going to give me that offer, I will take it up. Okay, where do we do it? Let's do it.
So, this car, of course, has the launch control,
Right.
which what it does is basically it preloads the powertrain. So when you go off the brake, it doesn't have that yank, that kick in the powertrain.
Right.
But basically what it does, it utilizes the maximum amount of power available and torque available
Okay.
to get you off the line.
Okay.
So it is available in any of the modes. You don't have to be in any special mode.
Okay.
And just to show you how quick you can get into the launch control,
Right.
put your left foot on the brake,
Yeah.
press it fully,
Yeah.
and your right foot on the accelerator and fully press it like to 100%.
Okay.
Keep it like this. So right now we are in launch control mode.
Okay.
The car is in launch control mode. It took you less than 1 second to get into
Correct.
launch control. So
Yeah.
you don't have to do any special buttons,
Right.
nothing
Yeah,
special.
Yeah.
So just basically do this. And when the opportunity opens itself, what you do is just you go off the accelerator, the brake pedal.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, holy crap. I think I was in a jet fighter ready to take off over there for a second.
Yeah. It's quite sharp, quite brutal.
Nothing. I haven't experienced anything like this ever before in my life.
Yeah.
This is something else. Wow. Mr. Rimac is one brilliant gentleman to design and develop this car.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this back to a more normal, sedentary driving mode because I've got enough adrenaline rush for today.
Yes. It never gets old. It never gets
old.
boring.
Never gets bored. So 150 cars going to be produced, assuming all of them are sold out or almost sold out.
Well, we are not. We are completely transparent with it. So
Right.
when we started with this, and instead of like talking that we all sold out or all of our cars,
Right.
and then suddenly there's another one, and suddenly there's
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
We are just breaking the market, and people are still trying to understand what kind of a car it is.
Okay.
So we are way past like half of the allocations.
Okay.
There's still cars available, but on the other side, it's going to happen like it was happening with, some other hypercars or supercars when they went out. Like for example, McLaren F1 when it came out,
Yes.
people didn't understand what kind of a car it is.
Correct.
It took some time for them to build up, and now it's a complete icon.
Right.
This is the first of its kind. This is the first all-electric hypercar. This is the first car with 2,000 horsepower license plates on,
Right.
which at the same time is not going to bite your head off anytime you go on the power. So it's that some cars wear the image of a widowmaker.
Yeah.
This definitely is not one of them.
Yeah. This is definitely not a widowmaker.
But on the other side, it will put to shame a lot of other very very powerful cars.
Correct.
So
And this is number 14 of 150.
yes,
Oh, okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for taking your time to show me this car and letting me drive it. It's an absolute honor.
of course.
And driving the world's first electric hypercar and the fastest car at this point of time is just beautiful. Thank you so much, Miro.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, very good day of my life. I'm smiling year to year. Thank you for watching the Cornea Impression. Looking forward to the next video to show you guys. See you next time. Ciao. Bye.